Fresh off of a more than convincing result against San Antonio FC, Phoenix Rising Football Club with another home match. And yes, it is Diplo bobblehead night here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex as they play host to Colorado Springs Switchbacks and Steve Tritchu, Tyler Terrens, along with none other, the incomparable, the always fashionable, and sometimes late, Devin Kerr. And Devin, for this Colorado Springs side, well, they've had a bit of an up and down season, but one thing that remains consistent is the electric play of one Mr. Shane Malcolm.
He's been absolutely impressive. Started off the season slow. It took him some time to get going, got an early go, then quieted off, but has been on absolute fire as of late, and he's going to be the spark plug to really get this team going. A team that, as you mentioned, only 2 times have they gotten back-to-back wins over the course of the season. They've never had more than 2 in a row. They're going to be hungry coming off that 2-1 loss to Tulsa.
They were hanging around the playoff spot right around this same time last year, and they still continue to hover around that 8th, 9th, 10th spot. And they're going to be looking for a victory points against the Phoenix side, Devin, who is coming off of an absolute dismantling of San Antonio FC, 4-0. Solomon Asante with one of the best ones of the night.
Some questions at the back line at certain points in time in the communication, but that deals with the growing pains. New loanees coming in, no big deal. Cortez in the 18th. Asante with the gift from Restrepo in the 27th. Devin Vega with the absolute scorcher to the upper 90. Just before having the 45th minute, Luigi Mala got on the naughty list, got his 2nd yellow, thrown out, tried to spoil the party for the boys. Billy Forbes said, I don't think so. He got the 4th. They got the momentum. They got 3 points.
Both former members of San Antonio, Billy Forbes and Devin Vega, devastating their former teammates. Phoenix Rising FC looking to keep the good times rolling here in the Valley of the Sun. Colorado Springs need 3 points, but they're going up against one of the best in the West. It's Phoenix and Colorado Springs when we come back.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Don't miss the action as the final stretch of the 2018 Phoenix Rising FC season is here.
This Phoenix team is must-see TV!
Join us at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex in Scottsdale and experience Arizona's highest level of professional soccer. Come out and watch Phoenix Rising challenge St. Louis FC Saturday, September 29th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets at phxrisingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, rising as one.
At Showcase Honda, we want to show you the best. Let us show you our massive inventory of new Hondas, like the 2018 Honda Accord, 2018 North American Car of the Year, Honda Civic, or Honda CR-V. Or let us show you a certified pre-owned Honda, one of the best values on the road. And let us show you an unmatched sales and service experience. Only at Showcase Honda. Easy to find on Camelback Road just west of the 51. Online at showcasehonda.com. Get to the show today.
Almost set for kickoff between Phoenix and Colorado Springs. Rick Shantz and the boys looking to keep the momentum rolling after their more than convincing victory over San Antonio FC. And we'll take a look at how former U.S. international Steve Tritchu's side is going to line up. And what are we looking at for this Colorado Springs side, Mr. Devin Kerr?
Business as usual for the traveling Switchbacks, and you see Josh Suggs on the outside. Keep an eye on that. That's going to be a fun matchup between Shaf Brewer Jr. and Saad, a very dynamic outside marking back who really likes to get forward and gets involved in the set pieces. Taylor Hunter is a makeshift center back, likes to play outside back as well. Ayuko Katatambe goes by JJ and Jamal Jack, a very strong, solidified back line. For them, the composition really lacks the transition to the middle of the field, jumping up top corner, low Anita Phoenix. Sam Hamilton getting involved in the 10 position. Side Robinson alongside Shane Malcolm, and Big Toby Uzo up top. And if you look at the boys in red, It's more of the same. We actually were told that, well, we weren't told. We thought Cody Wakasa was going to get the nod at the right back position. Saad coming up a touch lame in the last match, and they were going to hold him back, but he's good to go. He steps in. Joe Farrell steps in for the suspended Duiji Mala. Awako back from suspension into the number 10 role to help pull the string. Solomon Asante, they're going to make sure they nurse him back to health slowly and that he's ready to go for playoffs. JJ, Kevon Frater, Shaf Brewer Jr., go to work.
Well, Kevon Frater playing against his former club, and with Devin Vega and Billy Forbes scoring in the last game against San Antonio in their former club, Rick Shantz told us, listen, I'm going to go with the guy who's playing against his former team because it seems to be working. Devin, have you had any sort of experience with that, and what's it like playing against a team who you were with just less than a year ago?
The first time that I actually ever experienced it, I was 19 years old. I had played my entire youth career with one club, and I switched because my club was not offering a U19 team on my freshman year of college, so I came back. We actually played their makeshift U19s. Now, they weren't going to be competitive in the state cup play, but I did play their team in a scrimmage of short, and I scored, and I was more than happy to celebrate and kind of throw things in the face of the club because of the fact that they weren't honoring some of the guys that had put forth such a great tradition. So it was quality to see from Devin Vega, though, last week in Billy Forbes, where they weren't celebrating. They were doing some of the same thing on the other side. They were showing their professionalism, we'll say, and just kind of honoring what they had been given in their past and the opportunity that San Antonio FC give them. Hopefully Kevon Frater has the same opportunity tonight.
Well, he was able to get his first tally in the USL for Phoenix just the other day in that game where he was able to score from the penalty spot against Las Vegas, as the Banditos, Red Fury, are all ready to rock. We hope you are as well. This Phoenix side looking to continue their climb up the Western Conference table as Jason Johnson gets the nod here tonight. Gladson Awako, as Devin mentioned, back from his 3-game suspension after grabbing the throat of Michael Chang in that game against the Monarchs, which seems like ages ago at this point. But Devin, let me ask you a question about this Phoenix back line, because what was one of the more consistent things was the center back pairing when it was Mike DeFont and Joe Farrell. But now it's gotten to the point where it seems like it's been different every single game. And Farrell and Blackman, that seems to be an interesting choice from Rick Shantz.
It's getting to a point where it's next man up. Who's going to step up and get the job done? If you track back a couple of games to the Orange County game, Shantz came out and said that I sent a message to the boys that slates were clean. You guys want to win your position, go out and do it. So we've seen a lot of rotation between the starting lineup over the past 3 games. Some of that has to do with the comments that I just mentioned. Some of it also has to do with the frequency of games. You want to get these guys some rest. You want to make sure that once you get your seating set up, and that may not come down till the last week, but once you get your seating set up and you know you're going to be in the playoffs, you're going in with a boatload of momentum and a boatload of guys that have the hunger, desire, and also the attrition on their side of things. You don't want tired boys rolling into the playoffs.
We got a brief glimpse of Didier Drogba, who's still coming back, still trying to get match fit. Rick Shantz said in their most previous training session, where they really went full speed, which was on Thursday, that he got a really, really hard training session in, and they're expecting him to be back sooner rather than later. Coach Shantz was a bit ambiguous with it, but it'll certainly keep you tuned in, and hopefully you'll be tuned in for the duration of these 90 minutes as Phoenix will be in their all-red kits, Colorado Springs in their all-white. An enormous amount of respect between Rick Shantz and Steve Tritchu, who go way back, but now pinned up against each other in the Valley of the Sun. 3 points on the line. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. It appears our referee is ready. The crowd here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex is ready too, with their Diplo bobbleheads in their back pocket. And we are officially underway. Early ball sent to head. Frater trying to get there. Big challenge in the middle of the park. Now it's Farrell jousting for it. Lambert coolly plays it back for Saad Abdul Salam, who really was the orchestrator of that initial Chris Cortez goal. I mean, the weighted pass along for Lambert was something that cannot be understated.
Beautiful. In the match before against Las Vegas Lights, we saw him carry his position much higher on the offensive side of the ball, not as much involved in the complete run of play, but on that goal did a great job holding position, drifted back into the run and caught himself free at the top of the box, was very patient and just allowed the play to develop in front of him, exploited that space in between the hind, and the rest is history.
And Sergei Demianchuk said that it was out of play. Lubin getting the start in between the sticks again after his second clean sheet of the season against San Antonio, who are missing some pieces due to suspension and injury. But a 4-0 win for the boys in red nonetheless, as it's Frater on the move. Shaft Brewer getting forward. Frater, ball over for Johnson. Jason Johnson still with it. Blocked in front. Awako. Glad to be back in the starting 11. Gets pushed over from behind. No call from Sergei Demianchuk. And it's Lambert coming over to clean up the pieces. It'll remain with Colorado Springs, but a frantic pace in the opening 120 seconds. Here's Josh Suggs, the captain, and the steady outside back for Steve Tritchu. Denied by Saad Abdul Salam, and the first corner kick of the night coming up, and it's in favor of the visitors.
JJ going one-on-one just moments ago. Good hold-up play from Frater. Right here, when he takes this touchback, he almost goes to ground right there. That could have been a penalty if he went down, decides to stay up and try and push through it. And then Gladson Awako, as he makes his way back around, not exactly sure how this isn't a foul. Unfortunately, can't catch the end of it, but pulls it back in between his legs, gets taken to ground. Referee says no.
New Mexico native Suggs delivers it in, and Lubin collects it. But it's coming out the other way. A push in the back. Well, Devin talked about the clean slate that was initiated by Rick Shantz after the Orange County match, in which they went down 4-0, ended up clawing their way back in by way of one incredible man, Solomon Asante, but still ended up losing 4-3, and Zach Lubin has really taken advantage of the clean sheet. Schweitzer will play it quickly. Taylor Hunter. Patient from Colorado Springs. Not menacing possession. A good ball sent ahead for Josh Suggs. This is certainly menacing. Now it's Shane Malcolm. Outside of the foot. Easy work for Zach Lubin.
Good stuff by Lubin, but Chef Saad has to keep his head on a swivel because he's been lucky over the past two matches. He hasn't really had an attacking outside back to deal with like Josh Suggs. And to just let something drift over the top of his head, can't be that nonchalant. Suggs will eat those up all night long.
Frater brings it down. Awako, how's that for a first touch? And a second. This time the whistle is blown. Jordan Bird is the culprit. And a set piece coming up for Phoenix.
Trying to figure out which touch is better. The first one that comes in or the second one when he cuts it back just to get right inside Jordan Bird. Forgot something, buddy.
How about Amadou Diop sporting the captain's armband when Solo went out against San Antonio with that mild hamstring injury that's kept him out of the lineup tonight. He did dish it off to Diop. It was slowly but surely in a lineup that's been tinkered with and remaining consistent. He has been one consistent aspect of it as Awako hits it. The ball back from Musa was a little bit too heavy. Diop for the header. A lot of contact, and Demianchuk's going to bring it back. See Saeed Robinson wanted to get on his way quickly.
I don't mind the challenge here, right in the center of the park. Amadou Dia goes up and not too menacing in his efforts there. Catches a touch of his momentum coming over the back of Jordan Burt. But again, you're giving it up right in the middle of the field, not the end of the world. Everybody get back, reset.
Suggs giving chase. Abdul Salam. Just a little nudge in the back. Last touch off of Suggs. How about Saad Abdul Salam? Coming over from NYCFC. You get to learn day in and day out over up in New York from David Villa. Then you get sent out on loan. And then chirping in your ear when you first get into training is Didier Drogba. Not bad for the youngster.
I don't remember that being involved in any of my contracts growing up. How I get involved in that path to the pros. And it's quite quality, and you saw a very complete game from Saad in his first match out versus Las Vegas Lights. Things were, the ebb and flow was different last game. A little bit more defensive-minded, great assist, but wasn't as involved in the run of play going forward, as I mentioned. Getting in the final third, still threatening, but wasn't really in those long runs that we saw. And tonight, again, it'll be interesting having to deal with Josh Suggs getting up and down the pitch. Just moments ago, with the flick over, and then another challenge in the middle of the field. That's going to be a recurring theme all night long. Schweitzer, Burt, Lambert, Musa, and Owako all going to be challenging each other, throwing their bodies around.
Here's Suggs trying to get to the byline. Lubin spills it. But I'll tell you what, this seems to be the flank of choice for Colorado Springs, and it usually is, just given how dynamic Suggs can be going forward, and his delivery is great. But when you talk to Coach Shantz, his sort of game plan was to try to have Shaf Brewer, who is so pacey and so active, try to pin Suggs back, but that has not been the case early on. As we're only about 8.5 minutes in. Here's Uzo, jousting with Blackman. And it'll end up being a corner. So good work from Colorado Springs again. Phoenix have had a lot of defending to do early on.
They haven't been able to contain Suggs because they haven't been able to find the feet or include Shaf Brewer Jr. in the run of play going forward. A lot of the stuff has been in the middle of the field and long balls sprayed up top for the likes of Gladson and Owako. Kafran Frater to hold it up and try and get some supporting runs down into the channels. So Shaf Brewer just trying to track back. He's a good job communicating with Abdul Salam, make sure that those two can combine and slow the runs from Suggs as he does get down into those threatening positions.
Here's Suggs on the corner. It'll be an outswinger from the skipper. One by Phoenix. Owako looking to get things going. Gladson Owako. He was looking for an option. He had one over on the far side. As Colorado Springs come away with it. And Sergei Demianchuk will hold things up for a moment as looks like JJ is down for Phoenix. And he's holding on to that right leg. And it's been a number of games now for Phoenix. I mean, whether it's Orange County and Alessandro Rigi going down with his ACL tear early on. Solomon Asante, 22nd minute against San Antonio, and now JJ here in the 10th minute. The injury bug has not been kind to Rick Shantz's crew. But that's why they went out and got so many pieces during the offseason, and that's why they brought in the likes of Shaf Brewer, Abdul Salam, and Tristan Blackman. Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. And Jason Johnson, it looks like, at least for the time being, is done. It'll be really interesting to see who Rick Shantz brings on now. You see Kafran Frater move out wide, Chris Cortez step into the 9.
It's been interesting with all the run of injuries, like you mentioned, little knocks and bruises and some massive ones here and there, how you go from a team that is still arguably one of the most explosive in the league, and having such amazing wing players, to looking down the bench going, wow, they don't really have anyone from a width standpoint that could step in almost immediately. You could bring in Cortez and put Frater outside and experiment with that on the left. The only other thing that you might do, I use that term lightly, is they have used a walkout out on the past, on the right in the past, but that's been late in games with 10, 15 minutes to go, not with the amount of time that you have in front of him. So Shantz is not going to want to go to his bench early on, see if JJ can get a run of it.
I'll tell you what, Sergei Demianchuk is really letting them play here in the Valley of the Sun. It's been a lot of contact, but it has been consistent from the referee. Abdul Salam met by a challenge. And it is Chris Cortez who's getting ready to check in for Jason Johnson. The header just over the bar.
Back and forth stuff, opening 12 minutes here. Here's the spotlight player, Shane Malcolm, drifting the ball outside. Trailing run, my big Toby Uzo up top, trying to challenge the two center backs. As Phoenix plays for 10 men for the time being.
Suggs just dinks it in. Malcolm helps it along. That was a really neat design set piece. And Shaft Brewer sends it away. Phoenix playing with 10 men right now. Jason Johnson coming off with an injury. Chris Cortez getting set to come on. Is this one finding Josh Suggs yet again on this left wing. Delivers it again, but yet again, it's Zach Lubin claiming it to be his own. Frater, fouled from behind, and a free kick for Phoenix. Musa, not his best. And another early substitution in another game for Rick Shantz due to injury. And it's Chris Cortez coming on to replace the injured Jamaican in the 14th minute. And this substitute brought to you by Capriati Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs. Awako challenges, Frater comes away with it, a heavy touch, and it falls to the feet of Schweitzer. Now it's Sam Hamilton, a former member of Phoenix Rising, who was on loan with the Colorado Rapids in 2017, now on loan with the Switchbacks here in 2018, and a good sliding challenge from Mamadou Dia, the Clemson product. Sprayed over again for Suggs, able to get there. Whips it across. And it was Joseph Farrell with a very important touch. Last touch coming off of Jordan Burt. But I don't think it could be any more blatantly obvious what Colorado Springs are trying to do.
They've made a shift at their back line as well. They brought Taylor Hunter over. He's usually at the right back position or plays in the center back. They put him right next to Josh Suggs. Playing left center back, allowing Josh Suggs to get up and down the pitch so that if Shaft Brewer Jr. does break free, he has an experienced marking back there. I like the move from Steve Tritchie. It's very smart. Phoenix need to understand that on the other side of the ball, they've now put JJ Tambe out on the right side, all alone next to Jamal Jack. Jamal Jack, big bruising center back, but he does not carry a boatload of pace. Makes up for it in power. But JJ Tambe is not used to being in one-on-one situations. That would have boded very well for Jason Johnson. Have to see if Kevon Frater is going to understand that if Rick Shantz can get him in one-on-one situations over there.
Here's Jamal Jack. Suggs again gets ahead to it. Abdul Salam, really well done to find Kevon Lambert. Awako. Blackman clips it forward. Amadou Dia bending it into the channel for Frater. Chris Cortez waiting. And Shaq Brewer won't be able to keep it in play, but that's probably the first real sign of life that we've seen from Phoenix besides that Jason Johnson half chance or so in the first 120 seconds.
Much better ball movement from the boys in red, and they were understanding of what was coming at them. You saw the press that's been employed by Colorado Springs over the opening 15 minutes or so. Springs moves up 30 seconds or so, then they back off, and then Phoenix just withstands the push and methodically moves it around the back line, and then those quick 1-2 passes. They go from the right to the left, quick ball into the channel and a ball to cross. 6-7 touches around the back, but it's those 3 last ones that end up going 40-50 yards over the course of the 2-3 touches that allow them to stretch this Colorado Springs squad and give them a look at net.
Well, you mentioned Steve Tritchew's tactical ability. He just has so much experience in the world of football. 37 caps for the U.S. men's national team back in his heyday. He was actually the first ever American player to compete in the UEFA Champions League with Sparta Prague, as Shaq Brewer just muscled out of the scene by Jamal Jack. And it'll be a goal kick. And we were talking with Rick Schatz. I mean, he just has the utmost amount of respect for Steve Tritchew and says that he's one of his favorite coaches in the United Soccer League. As Gladson Awako picks it up, looking for Cortez. Great first touch. Still with it. Lambert. He'll simply keep it. Musa. Dia. Plenty of time and space. Frater and Awako were standing on top of each other for a moment. And Kevon Lambert, just 20 years young. Helping connect the dots for Phoenix. Musa. Dia can't find Cortez, cut out by Jordan Burt. He's the engine that goes in the middle of the park for Steve Tritchew. Lambert. Big ball over for Frater. Look at that first touch. Frater taken down. No call from Sergei Demianchuk. He says get up to Mr. Frater. Devin, what do we think about that?
A lot of fans are going to be frustrated by the no call by Demianchuk, but he has been consistent over the opening 20 minutes. He's letting the boys play on both sides of the ball. So you would like to lobby for it, but aren't surprised that he said no.
Meanwhile, Phoenix keeping the ball, keeping the pressure relevant. Awako. The Jamaican Lambert again. Brewer. Well, you'd love to see Abdul Salam getting that far up the field. And Lambert has almost fallen back into that right back position. Abdul Salam pushing the back from Suggs.
That's the type of interchanging play that Phoenix needs to become accustomed to. It's great to have a template or a guideline for this squad to start off at, but you constantly have to be trying to communicate with your teammates and exploit the space as those overlapping runs come into play.
Frater gives it away. Colorado Springs on the move. Burt unable to get there because Joseph Farrell came across with excellent cover. And a corner kick coming up for Colorado Springs, which are, as always, brought to you by Carvana. How about the atmosphere that the Banditos Red Fury providing here at the complex? Why not get excited about Diplo bobblehead night? Diplo, of course, part of the outstanding ownership group of Phoenix Rising Football Club. along with some other big names like Pete Wentz, little Fallout Boy, and of course Didier Drogba, as well as Berke Bakai. And the Banditos in Red Fury are rocking, as always. Burt got ahead to it. Or did he? It'll be another corner for the visitors. Josh Suggs on top of the corner yet again. 23rd minute, Suggs. Header's won by Lambert, and the free kick is won as well. Well, Devin, there's a lot of new faces out there playing together for virtually the first time between Shaq Brewer getting his first start. Tristan Blackman as Brewer is sprung the other way. Look at the pace from the youngster Brewer. Back for Cortez. He made a mess of it. Ball quickly put back in play by Stuart Sayus. Malcolm. Return for Robinson. I was just about to say how these 11 on the field for Phoenix may not be in the groove just yet, but this wasn't bad at all from Shaq Brewer Jr.
This is exactly what Phoenix wants, though. They want to get the ball down at his feet and in front of him so that he can run onto it. How many times have we seen Cortez put that in the back of the net? 9 times out of 10. That gets them a goal for sure. Good stuff from Shaq Brewer Jr., but they have to continue with that push. It's really the first time that we've seen him down into the final third and what is his bread and butter that he's come to be in his young pro career.
Just 18 years old from Sacramento, California, Shaq Brewer Jr. Had 3 appearances for LAFC before coming over on loan to Phoenix. Robinson, good delivery. Malcolm got a touch to it, but Lambert finding James Musa. But Cortez, after coming in for the injured Jason Johnson, still trying to find his way into this match. Malcolm looking for Uzo. Handled well by Joseph Farrell. Awako. Musa finding Abdul Salam, who's come inside. Very fluid movement from Phoenix. Great ball whipped in, it's Cortez, and again, just not what we've come to know and love about big number 9. Devin, if he starts the game and is still given those 2 chances, are we seeing different results?
You would almost expect it right away, and that's probably what's happening here. Not that the big man isn't used to being in the limelight, but those early opening jitters don't have the same warm-up that you do when you get the nod for the starting 11. A lot of passes in tight spaces, and you tend to be separated a touch, go through your motions much more nonchalantly than you normally do. And so he gets the quick call from the bench, gets thrown right into the deep end, and things are coming his way almost immediately, which is great for Phoenix. Hasn't been able to make anything of it whatsoever yet.
Lambert threading the needle for Dia, and it's a foul right on the edge of the area. Saeed Robinson holding the ball, claiming that he got the ball. Or excuse me, that's JJ Townbay. But a set piece coming up nonetheless for Phoenix. Terrific ball forward from Lambert.
Much better stuff from Phoenix. He's got a pretty good case there. That's surprisingly that our referee blew the whistle based upon everything that we've seen so far. That's the one that he elects to stop play for. Good opportunity for Phoenix in this situation, and maybe a chance for Chris Cortez to redeem himself. They obviously love to get the big number 9 into that back post, get him involved in the run of play.
Well, this would normally be Solomon Asante on top of this set piece, but with Asante hurt, at least for the time being, listed as day-to-day with a lower body injury. Nothing more than a pulled hamstring. It's his compatriot, Gladson Awako, returning from suspension, looking for glory. Awako, good ball in, the flick was just over the bar, it was Frater.
Good ball in from Awako, and you can see a couple Phoenix shirts drifting to the near post. Might have been Loney, number 77, Tristan Blackman on there. Kevon Frater joining forces as well.
Well, if you could hear Devin Kerr smiling, it's because I thought it was Frater, he thought it was Blackman. Want to check tape?
One day we'll let everybody know the little inside jokes that we get going on here. We have to include them.
Sergei Demianchuk not having any of it coming from the captain of Colorado Springs, Josh Suggs, as we'll resume play. Tombe. Cut out by Musa. Frater bending it into the channel, hoping for Cortez. And it's a good challenge in the end. Brewer pressing, winning it. Look at Shaft Brewer on the move. Delivery takes a deflection and a corner kick coming up. But how impressive has this young man been in his first start with Phoenix?
Phoenix needs to continue to feed the Sacramento native. More opportunities are going to come his way. Colorado Springs recognizing they've had success on the left side. They have pushed Josh Suggs almost into the midfield, turning this back line into a 3-back system of sorts. It's makeshift, but it is allowing a lot of space on the right side for Shaft Brewer Jr. to get open.
Awako. Cortez wins the header. Is it fair to say that it's a makeshift back three?
Stop it. Stop it.
And Zach Lubin will claim it. Fans, make sure to visit your Valley local supermarket and pick up a Phoenix Rising branded bottle of Arizona Gunslinger. Almost a half an hour played here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr on a spectacular Saturday evening in the desert. Phoenix looking to make it 3 wins in a row. Colorado Springs Switchbacks looking to bounce back after a more than disappointing loss against the Tulsa Roughnecks. Brewer with great pressure. Awako trying to do the same. Referee says play on. And the fans appreciating the effort defensively. Sort of that 6-second mentality when you give the ball away to win it back immediately. Amadou Diop. Awako trying to turn. Dispossessed. Jordan Burt looking for Malcolm, but Joseph Farrell to the rescue. Frater coming extremely deep to receive this one. Musa. Excellent build-up play from Phoenix. Frater trying to be Taylor Hunter there. And called for the foul. It's really encouraging signs from Phoenix, though, just in terms of straight possession and trying to break teams down just by keeping the ball on the deck. Chance was more than pleased with the result against San Antonio. Said there were a couple of moments early in the first half where he thought defensively they could have been a bit better, but he obviously isn't really going to bat any eyelashes at a 4-0 win at home. Phoenix give it away. Malcolm. Jordan Burt. Lubin off of his line. Pretty good stuff. Frater. Cortez still might be able to get there. Look at those long, lanky strides. And it's the little runs like that that can make all the difference. Phoenix scored their first goal off a restart from a throw-in against San Antonio. What will this one bring? Abdul Salam. Flicked along, Blackman got there. Frater up for it, still loose. Cortez, Owako.
Good job by Chris Cortez to bring this down and allow a second opportunity for the Rising to get a glimpse at goal, but Hudson Owako never really had his bearings about him on that one, always leaning back into the side, drifting right up over the bar.
Suggs, early delivery. Blackman got there. It falls nicely for Robinson, who lets it fly, and Lubin, after the deflection, parries it away. First big save of the night from number 28.
Once again, Colorado Springs going back to Josh Suggs. Has no problem going in early, as Tyler mentioned, and it's got to be a little bit better of a clearance from your center back. Blackman should know better than that. You don't mind clearing to the far post, but you don't want to push it anywhere near the middle. Side Robinson collects and unleashes on Zach Lubin. Excellent save off the deflection.
It goes short, now it comes in. And last touch off of Cortez, and we'll do it one more time. Suggs. And Lubin again dives to the side and holds on to it, as it was Jordan Burt who got an awkward touch. There's about 10 minutes remaining in this first half. Phoenix running on about 215 minutes of clean sheet football. Malcolm. Robinson. Another early delivery. Another Joseph Farrell header. Lambert's pass cut out. Phoenix having a difficult time playing out of their own defensive third. Uzo, great touch along for Malcolm. Dia gets back up. And Lambert clips it of any further danger. Colorado Springs restart quickly. Suggs again. Robinson back into the mixer. USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7, 369 days a year. Follow @USL on Twitter. Hunter. Tombe looking for Uzo. Runs out of play. The offside flag stayed down. That was a really great ball sent from the back line of Colorado Springs from JJ Tombe. And Colorado Springs have really held their own throughout this first half so far.
Fortunately enough for Phoenix Rising, the Nigerian Toby Uzo doesn't really possess that ground-blazing speed that we've seen from the likes of Shaf Brewer Jr. or Josh Suggs here this evening. So once he did get in behind, he was never really going to challenge Zach Lubin. And that goes back to the communication between the boys in the back. Tristan Blackman, Joe Farrell need to do a better job of communicating. We saw them get rattled a few times last match. There was some discrepancy as to who was marking where and where guys were supposed to be. Joe Farrell hung out to dry here as Blackman's nowhere to be seen. Rick Shantz brought that up to us. He mentioned that, Blackman tended to be much more in a man-marking situation with LAFC at the MLS level, and he needed to understand that though still very difficult of a challenge here, things were different, and it might take some time to get acclimated to his environment. Very talented, but at the same point in time, there will be a learning curve for sure.
Jamal Jack getting a stern talking to from Sergei Demianchuk, as we'll take another look at what incited all this madness.
Jamal Jack starts it off. Sam Hamilton comes in at the end, just getting stuck in and forcing the hand of the referee. Demianchuk much more active over the past 10 minutes or so. Wide open game to start, but he's calmed things down.
Owako awaits. Just clips it in. And a corner kick coming up for Phoenix. Those balls sent in from Owako are quite different from the ones of Solomon Asante. Owako is more driven or a little bit more lofted, whereas Owako just whips it in with Asante whips it in with an incredible amount of pace and has that dipping action as well. Owako again. And Blackman got there, but Sayus falls on top of it.
Better execution from Phoenix Rising. Doesn't end up in the back of the net, but the play before in the dead ball situation, Tyler's just referencing the ball flight. That's an Owako didn't execute fully, was trying to find Chris Cortez in the back post with that lofted ball, but it ends up just losing flight between the 6 and the penalty mark.
Amadou Dia getting involved. Try to send it across, loose in front, and Sayus scoops it up. Tell you what, Amadou Dia just flat out flies along that left flank. Switch over to Suggs. We're going to take on Abdul Salam. Good defending. Well, Suggs tracking back. Phoenix, we're trying to see if they can spark a counterattack, but good work defensively in transition from Steve Tritchu's side. Awako. Bulldoze over from behind by J.J. Tambe. That's about the second or third time he's done that. Awako looks like he's making that claim to Sergi Demianchuk.
Most likely his final warning. J.J. Tambe will end up in the book eventually if his play like that continues.
It looked like for a moment Shaft Brewer floated out over to that left wing. Musa almost lost it. Ends up losing it in the end, and Uzo fouled by Musa. We've seen a very good pace of play from Colorado Springs, restarting quickly almost every time as Jordan Burt sends that into the Bandidos, and they'll happily send it right back. Devin, after a couple of half chances or so in the first 15-20 minutes, it's been a rather dull second part to this first half.
It's all about energy level and decision making. Much better from the visiting squad. You can see they like to play that high tempo, which Phoenix kind of wrote the book on. Colorado Springs taking a page out of Phoenix's, doing their homework to say the least. And for the many a time we've seen over the past few games, Phoenix having to make an early change, dealing with another injury, which has also caused a lot of frustration, and Rick Shantz's plans have definitely changed.
Uzo. We'll have just 1 minute of stoppage time. Hunter just dinks it in for Jordan Burt. Brewer, long for Awako, gets a touch to it. Can Brewer keep it in play? The answer is no. And now it's Gladson Awako. He's a little slow to get to his feet. And they're actually going to bring that one back. It's a little difficult to hear the whistle with the Bandidos providing a plethora of decibels here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, but another opportunity for the set piece and perhaps the last play of the first half. Awako. And another corner coming up for Phoenix. Wacko again. That'll probably do it for the first half. And the fans enjoying a little bit of time with Stuart Sayus. Sayus has really not been challenged yet tonight. Cortez had two really good looks just moments after coming on, one with his head and one on a ball that Chaffreur really put on a platter for him from about 15 yards away. And that's going to do it for the first half from the desert. Phoenix and Colorado Springs 0-0. At the end of 45 minutes, Zach Lubin has made a couple of good saves. Banditos and Red Fury have been excellent. But at the moment, a deadlock, a stalemate, couple of goose eggs. Phoenix and Colorado Springs heading to halftime. We'll be back in just a few moments. Don't go anywhere. USL news and notes, highlights, stats, and oh so much more right around the corner.
Yo soy el Dr. José Francisco Carrasco de Happy Kids Pediatrics. Para nosotros, sinceramente, lo más importante es la salud y el bienestar de sus niños.
Happy Kids Pediatrics son clínicas especializadas en pediatría enfocadas en la salud y el bienestar de los niños con localidades cómodas, limpias y cercanas a usted. Podrá ver al mismo proveedor médico constantemente. Aceptamos access, aseguranzas privadas y precios especiales para pacientes sin seguro médico. Happy Kids Pediatrics, sirviendo a la comunidad hispana por más de 18 años.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry. I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
No te pierdas ni un segundo de la acción en los últimos encuentros de la temporada 2018 de Phoenix Rising FC. Ven al complejo futbolístico Phoenix Rising en Scottsdale y experimenta el nivel más alto de fútbol profesional de Arizona. Ven a ver el enfrentamiento de Phoenix Rising y San Luis FC el sábado 29 de septiembre a las 7 p.m. Obtén tus boletos en phxracingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, nos elevamos unidos.
Halftime break here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Don't have a ton written down. Nobody's scored yet. And it's halftime. Let's take a look at what's been going on at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Camp. Some youngsters putting on some good shows and some highlights from around the USL from the previous week. Let's take a look. Thomasina Olsen looking for number 14. There it is.
Cross comes in towards the back post, and Foster Langsdorff has his 11th goal this season.
The corner of the 18, cross comes in, and a goal for Foster Langsdorff. It's his second of the evening.
Into the box, a strike, and a goal.
Christian Valesky.
Guess who?
Again, Valesky with his second.
Slides it across, Michael Seaton. Seaton in on goal, Michael Seaton, he's at the brace.
Ledesma right at the edge of the 18, takes a shot, and Manu Ledesma does it again!
Now Spees gives it a go, and Spees finds the back of the net. Game of one-upsmanship from the Indy 11 this season. Rebound comes out though, and it's stuck right back in. And guess who? Solomon Asante. Chance now for it, St. Louis! Long overdue goal for Corey Herzog. Here's Carl Howarth, and the shot, and it is 1-0 Ottawa Fury FC.
Here's Zane to strike. It hits the frame of the goal and goes in. Laid off to the path of Barry. He's onside, and he fires it home.
It'll be Gordon to strike with his right boot, hits it, and puts it in the back of the net.
To Velasquez. He'll take a crack through distance, and a goal. Chandler Hoffman redirects it for the goal.
Here's another opportunity. Dixon shot and a score.
Back to Corbin Bone. Bone inside of the 18. Buries it in the back of the net.
So Belmar now into the area crossing Belmar. Losing his defender, Belmar. Shirley. Blackwood gets the goal.
Great save by Kendall McIntosh.
Shot getting a piece of it.
What a save.
Great stop by Dykstra. Oh, what a save by Vaughn Williams.
Cardoni with an impressive save.
A brilliant save.
Some incredible stuff from week number 23 of the United Soccer League. And here in week number 24, the fans are enjoying themselves here at Diplo Bobblehead Night at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. And we'll take a peek at what else is going on around our magnificent league. Some news and notes, notes and news, however you want to say it, is okay with me. Rochester Rhinos returning to the fold, albeit in USL Division 3. Great to have one of the great North American franchises returning to their playing days. And for the USL, well, attendance just continues to rise and rise and rise. No pun intended with the game that we're currently doing, Devin.
We got to talk. You and I got to have a conversation. Awesome stuff for the Rochester Rhinos. Was very saddened to hear the news right before the season that they weren't going to be taking part in 2018, but 2020 will step back in to Division 3. We'll see where their future takes them. The attendance for me is a massive thing because it just shows you that the numbers just continuously grow, not only for this league, but the sport in general around the United States. And it's not one team, it's not two teams, it's league-wide, which only bodes well for this sport and the growth in the future to come.
And of course, Division 3 status has been officially approved. At least 10 teams for next season. Look at the team of the week from week number 23. Michael Seaton had 4 goals and some assists in his efforts, including a brace against Las Vegas Lights FC. Tyler Blackwood, Forrest Langsdorff, highlighting the attacking front. Nobody from Phoenix or Colorado Springs on here, but some other big names. Alex Dixon has been enjoying himself. He had a great week against RGV. Sam Finkett, speaking of RGV, currently up 2-0 on Orange County right now, which certainly bodes well for Phoenix. And Matt Pickens of Nashville, who fell 2-1 to Bethlehem today, rounding it out between the sticks. And what's upcoming west of the Mississippi? Well, here's a look. Reno hosting Las Vegas Lights FC. RGV will welcome San Antonio FC, a Darren Powell side that isn't exactly fond of playing away from Toyota, but that'll be the USL Game of the Week on ESPN3. Colorado Springs Switchbacks will welcome the top dogs of the Real Monarchs, who are currently throttling LA Galaxy 2 by a score of 4-0. And then Seattle Sounders 2 and St. Louis FC will square off Wednesday at 7 Mountain Standard Time, of course, as St. Louis are continuing to try to solidify their spot in the postseason. Devin, what do you like up here?
I like the St. Louis game. Anthony Pulis and his boys trying to make that playoff push. They've been very up and down over the past 3-4 games. Got a victory tonight, which was nice, and they're going to look to continue that streak. They're going to have to go to the Pacific Northwest in their friendly confines. Take on S2. Real Monarchs, what are they going to be coming down the stretch? I was chatting earlier with our friend Mike Watson, the #1 seed in the Western Conference, has not fared so well over the past few seasons heading into the postseason. It's definitely been the Eastern Conference that has the best run of play. And will it be the Real Monarchs for the regular season championship again? Only time will tell.
Only time will tell indeed, Mr. Kerr. Some candy being enjoyed here at halftime at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Stick around, sure to be a sweet second half.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry.
we'll get
I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
Worried about your kids' health care? Sick of doctor's offices with no appointments available? Let Happy Kids Pediatrics help. Our hand-picked staff is carefully cultivated to provide professional and compassionate care when your child needs it. Plus, we happily accept access, private insurance, and even offer special pricing for patients with no health insurance. With over 18 years providing quality health care to Valley children in our convenient Valley-wide locations, you can trust your child's health care to Happy Kids Pediatrics.
Brighten up your home this summer with new furniture from Pruitt's. We've got the latest styles at the lowest prices. Like these rocker recliners, your choice of color, just $199. Or this 4-piece rustic bedroom set, dresser, mirror, nightstand, and queen bed, just $499. Visit Pruitt's for the lowest prices and best selection at Thomas Road and 34th Street. Pruitt's, proudly serving the Valley for over 65 years.
Almost ready for the second half here in the Valley of the Sun. Phoenix and Colorado Springs Switchbacks. No goals to be had. Still 3 points on the table, but at the moment, it's a point apiece that they'll have to settle for as the youngsters are trying to juggle their way through the final moments of the halftime show. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr. And Devin, you know, this Phoenix team came out with some new faces. Shaft Brewer getting the start. Tristan Blackman and Joseph Farrell the first time they're playing in the center back position. And it looked like a side who had some new faces in some new places, and for the most part, it was Colorado Springs with a lot of pressure.
Early on, Toby Uzo, the big Nigerian up top, trying to get things going, but we saw a lot of this. Big long spraying balls out of the back from Saeed Robinson and JJ Tambe, finding Josh Suggs and that nice left foot of his. So there's some delicious balls into the box. No one able to get on the end of them. This is what Phoenix is going to need to do in the second half to try and lock things down. Tactically, what personnel are you going to use that's currently on the field, if you make any changes at all, and try and turn things around. This was where they really became dangerous on the offensive side of the ball. Shaft Brewer Jr. starting to find his form. There was a nice run of play about 6 to 8 minutes where he got into these one-on-one situations, balls out in front of him, able to really challenge the back line and open up that speed. This one to Chris Cortez, who we've seen him finish so many times in the past, sprays it wide of the outside bar.
It was simply not Chris Cortez's first half, and it wasn't his night to start as he came on for Jason Johnson, who was injured right around the 13th minute. This another great opportunity for Cortez. At the very least, we always see him put that on frame.
He had 3 in the span of about 5 minutes, just all alone, isolated. Again, it's that rusty form coming off the bench almost immediately. You want to kind of solidify yourself and get comfortable for at least 15 or 20 minutes before your coach tells you to warm up just before halftime. And surprised that the possession is that high for Phoenix. Made their way in towards the latter portion of the second half when things cooled down. You see the 8 shots, only 1 on target. Really feel like this turned into the Josh Suggs show. You saw him so many times getting down into that channel, and the way that they're lining up, they've really moved into a 3-back system. They're throttling the middle of the field, but only in the sense of congesting it to the right side of the pitch to allow Josh Suggs to attack in behind Shaft Brewer Jr. Be curious to see if Rick Shantz wants to go to a 3-back system and try and counter out that. Plug the middle, but allow Amadou Dia to get in behind Shaft Brewer Jr. and still allow a marking back behind him to help out as well.
Well, they are missing some pieces due to injuries. Jason Johnson just came off. Solomon Asante not available tonight. Didier Drogba still trying to get match fit. Alessandro Rigi went down during the Orange County game due to an ACL tear. So, Devin, you know, I asked this question to you. Is it possible to make that kind of tactical shift with what the players that they have available right now?
The problem is we don't know what kind of marking back Tristan Blackman can bring to the table yet. You know what he did in college, and he was a converted forward into a center back type role. Can he go in one-on-one situations? We referenced it earlier this broadcast. That's what he's used to defensively, marking at the MLS level. But being an outside back and marking in one-on-one situations are two totally different things. Now, if he's got Amadou Dia in front of him, who jumps up into the midfield a little bit, but still allows himself to step back and help in transition, that's possible. But now you've got Salam in the one-on-one situation on the right. Joe Farrell, we know he can play center back in the 3-back system. I think it's an interesting move to make. I don't think Shantz will make that right away. Most likely he'll stay with the current personnel that he has, at least formationally, and then come the 60th, 65th minute, if things are still going the likes of what we saw in the first half, then you pull the trigger.
Meanwhile, for Colorado Springs, they have to be really pleased with the way that they came out in the first half. I mean, this is a side right now that is well below the cutoff line as far as their positioning is concerned. They're in 12th. They're on 32 points. 3 points tonight, if my math is correct, puts them on 35. And that would bring them level with OKC Energy FC. Fresno sitting on 36. They have a 1-0 lead. And the good news for Phoenix, even though the fact they haven't really gotten going yet tonight, is that they're sitting 2 points behind Orange County. And Orange County right now is losing 2-0. So this is a great opportunity for Phoenix to pick up 3 points, gain some ground in Orange County. They still have a game in hand on Braden Cloutier's side, as Steve Tritchett consults with his tactical staff. And I mean, there's really not much you need to change if you're Steve Tritchett in the second half, no?
They're doing fine. He's not going to make any moves whatsoever. His squad has been very well versed on exactly what they wanted to do here this evening. And they've executed for the most part. No goals to show for it, but definitely the more threatening squad in the first half. There's a good look at the legend.
The legend, Rambo, Blair Gavin.
It's a motley crew.
Well,
those walls could talk.
Think they'd ever want to hang out with us?
What's this us?
Oh, that's right. It would be just me and them.
Oh, look at that. Hey, everybody needs a water boy.
In the words of Rihanna and Neo, I hate how much I love you. Officially underway for the second half. Tyler Terrence along with the always bullying Devin Kerr. Well, Devin, just keep a weathered eye out for all those tactical changes that you were predicting, suggesting during halftime, as that's a nasty challenge. Sergei Demianchuk says play on. Phoenix has the ball. Cortez unleashes it from long range, and Seus was a little bit off balance, a little bit off guard. Lucky to see it go over.
We know what Chris Cortez can do from distance. This would have been downright ridiculous. First toss actually fails him a bit, brings it back over to the left, and then tries to pick out anything from that distance and just really put something on frame and challenge Stuart Seus. That's what Chris Cortez needs. Build his confidence early. Not the best first half that we've seen out of him, regardless of how it started off coming off the bench.
Dia for Frater. How to play. Problem for Colorado Springs with regards to the standings is that played 27 games as Abdul Salam latches onto this one. Suggs sends it up an elevator shaft. Schweitzer helps it along. Musa. Dia. We give a couple of updates from around the Western Conference as that was quite filthy. Burt. And the foul against Phoenix. Some other updates, Fresno up 1-0 on Las Vegas in the 40th. Sacramento up 1-0 on Reno in the 50th. A little bit of a rivalry brewing between those two sides. Monarchs still 4-0 over Los Dos in the 84th. RGV still lead 2-0 over Orange County in the 82nd. You have a lot of pseudo RGV fans in the stands here at the Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex as Shaft Brewer is trying to get there. Jamal Jack goes to ground and does so extremely well. And like you mentioned, Devin, not a ton of pace, and if Shaft Brewer were to get a touch of that, he was gone. But, as you said, makes up for it with power. And Lambert fouled from behind by Shane Malcolm. Haven't really seen the best from Malcolm just yet. Mostly in part because every single time Colorado Springs has gotten the ball, it's gone in the direction of Job Suggs.
I'm looking at the Western Conference scores again, and I had an inkling in my head that I was right. Shocking that I am, by the way. And
you're the worst.
Tracking back, and no, it's going over the Reno and how they've been in poor form. They haven't won a game in over a month. Coming from a team after 16 games unbeaten, which included either 10 or 11 wins. They lose tonight. I mean, literally, their last win was a 4-1 win on the road at Los Dos. And since then, they've lost at home to St. Louis, on the road to Real Monarchs, and tied Swope Park Rangers.
Suggs. Uzo showing great strength. Malcolm. Burt gets a little bit too much underneath it. Good pressure from Phoenix. You can hear the technical staff of PRFC pleased with the defensive shape. Now, Devin, I've asked you this question before, and I still think it's one of the great mysteries of this sport. If you were to do that and commit that violation,
indirect free kick the other way.
Indirect free kick, you should not get the ball back. That is one of the most elementary plays. The fact that you get to do it over again, you don't get to do it throwing over again.
I agree with you. You don't, I do.
These are the things that keep me up at night.
That's good to know.
It's unbelievable. Cortez and Sayus will pick it up. Although there is going to be a foul. Do you agree with me?
On the foul or staying up at night?
The thing that keeps me up at night.
You're not bothering me. It doesn't bother me.
I know it doesn't bother me. I just need your approval.
I agree with you. It's ridiculous. This sort of do-over makeshift type thing for people to step in and get another chance. Late whistle by the referee, but it's the right one as J.J. Tambe gets involved with Chris Cortez. Dangerous spot here for Gladson Owako. Would be shocked if he doesn't have a go, but you can see how he's lined up. This is close enough where someone could have a dig. Why not let Chris Cortez get over the ball and have a go?
It's just going to be Owako over the top. Musa, it's off the bar. Well, that's why he didn't have a go. Because of that nifty design set piece. That was the woodwork away from being an excellent goal.
Definitely something from the training ground, and the man from Plymouth, England, pounding the crossbar. That is such a difficult ball to take because as it's lifted up over the wall, you're always going to have to hit it on the rise. You have to be ever so gentle, but still get enough power on it to beat the goalkeeper. It's an excellent take from Musa, but you have to give credit to Stuart Sayers, who closed down the angle just at the last minute.
Well, you can practice that set piece all you want on the training ground. But sometimes the football gods just aren't smiling down on you. Musa driving forward, fresh off of rattling the crossbar.
Stuff by Phoenix. You can try and take a look at the back line and what they're trying to do. How about the speed by Shaft Brewer Jr.? And that stuff, those analytics aren't going to show up on any box score whatsoever. Just a good job applying some pressure to Taylor Hunter. Friendly little nudge down in the box as he pushes the ball over the end line and gives them the opportunity. And they're really doing a much better job here in the second half. You can see the back line shifting a lot more, allowing the runs into the middle and guys to really try and challenge Taylor Hunter, Jamal Jack, and J.J. Tambe.
Owako, Cortez trying to flick it along. And it looks like it'll be a goal kick. Shaft Brewer continues to do the little things, but Phoenix have yet to capitalize on that one big thing, and that is a goal. Stuart Sayus still really to make that big marquee save. Zach Lubin has made one. Malcolm over for Robinson. And Malcolm apologizing to Robinson, saying that was my bad. He should have been making the run. Well, we have two balls on the field. Sergei Demianchuk just ran past one of them. Taylor Hunter came over from RGV. Cortez. Robinson. Musa lets it run through. Musa gets a very important touch to it. Owako off and running. Kevon Frater. Towards the byline. And his delivery denied by Saeed Robinson. It's off the back of Frater. Dia. Lambert. Musa. Cortez. No call from the referee. And look at Josh Suggs on the move. Schweitzer. Robinson brings it down. And again, him and Shane Malcolm not on the same page. Tombe. Robinson again. Blackman nipping at the heels of Malcolm. One of the two loans from LAFC. And of course, Saad Abdul Salam of NYCFC.
Both teams very much playing cat and mouse with each other right now, trying to lull the other to sleep and almost lure them into a situation where you have to make a decision. Neither one wants to make a mistake. Very tentative by both squads in the opening 15 minutes of this second half.
Cortez, Owako. Good work from Jamal Jack again. He's been excellent along the back line all season for Steve Tritchu. Jordan Burt, Josh Suggs. Robinson. And Abdul Salam just thumps it out of play. Watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL at the league's official Facebook page, facebook.com/USL Soccer. And make sure you go friend Devin Kerr on Facebook. He could use a few. Wow, nothing.
Silence is golden.
Suggs, Burt trying to get there. Lubin makes the save, but he paid a price. And they're immediately calling for medical attention. He took an absolute shot, Zach Lubin.
The most dangerous opportunity we've seen from Colorado Springs here in the second half. Josh Suggs, the distributor all night long, slips it in for the overlapping run of Jordan Burt, who collides right with Zach Lubin's face as he extended his cleat out. And immediately you could see them call for the trainer to get onto the field. Everybody asking to make sure if he's okay. And you can hear Sean Didier saying that that is absolutely ridiculous.
Well, there's probably no way that he's going to continue to play. Barely moving is Zach Lubin. And it'll probably be Waz coming on for Lubin now. And there's blood on the right side of the face of Zach Lubin. Waz getting ready. And now both substitutions that Rick Schantz will have to make at this point will be due to injury. Well, Lubin prevented Burt from scoring the opening goal and potentially the game winner.
Fans not very happy with a lot of things going on the pitch right now with referee's decision to not blow a foul in the situation. You can hear them as well as the coaching staff voicing their opinion about this, as that is an absolutely massive gash from the cleat onto Zach Lubin. That's going to leave more than a mark.
And I believe Jordan Burt was just shown a straight red, and now all of Colorado Springs Switchbacks Football Club surrounding Sergey Demianchuk. And now while the gash on Zach Lubin's face obviously is nasty and is going to need some stitches, Devin, you just motioned to me, and I tend to agree with you. I do not believe that that is a straight red card.
I'll be the first person to stand up for a center back, for a goalkeeper, and a lot of players on this Phoenix Rising team, and I'm sure I'm going to get crucified for it, but this is not a red card. These are two guys going into a 50-50 challenge at the top of the 6-yard box. Is it a foul? There's plenty of referee who would tell you that it's not a foul. I don't mind him blowing the whistle. I think it's a foul. If he wants to show a card, I respect a yellow. Red is not the right decision. It is going to drastically affect the outcome of this game. Make no mistake about it. Phoenix Rising now has the opportunity to go on the offensive. That bodes very well for them. But Colorado Springs did a good job. It was an overlapping run. Josh Suggs played in a dangerous ball. Phoenix Rising was exposed. It's not a red card.
It's a 50-50
It's a 50-50 ball. Two guys go to ground. The two of them are making a play on the ball. There's no malintent whatsoever, and you hate to see a decision like that affect the overall outcome, at least immediately.
It's also Jordan Burt being sent off, a very important piece in the middle of the park for Steve Tritchu. And it's a long walk back to the locker room for Mr. Burt, who was probably feeling that he was hard done. And he's motioning to Rick Shantz that they need to make their sub. Now, Didier Drogba having a conversation with Sergey Demianchuk. I think what he's trying to tell Demianchuk is that Zach Lubin is racing over to go get bandaged or stitched up to possibly return to the game. There's not many people in the world who can sort of just drag a referee over like that.
I would have been thrown out before that conversation even started. Trust me. Didier Drogba, who tends to act like Switzerland and let everybody get along.
And now Waz is making his way to midfield. Well, pretty good goalkeeping situation at Phoenix Rising. Waz, who was part of #NoGoalsJune. And now Carl Wazinski getting some words of encouragement from the crowd here in the Valley of the Sun. And it will be Waz coming on for Zach Lubin. And the substitute brought to you by Capriati's Sandwich Shop. Fanatically delicious subs. That certainly puts a damper on the pace, but now with Jordan Bird sent off, Colorado Springs playing with 10 men. Phoenix will now look to go to work against the visitors. Shaft Brewer whips it across. Seyu spills it. There it is. Owako. Did it take long? Did it? Gladson Owako, his first goal of the season, and returned from suspension. 1-0 to Phoenix.
Both substitutions we've seen over the course of this game have come due to injury. The execution in general, yet alone from set pieces, has been lacking. Good job by Cortez to flick it on and carry the play through. Shaft Brewer Jr. just puts it in the mixer, says, go get it, boys. Seyus, as we've seen him do a few times this year, absolutely makes a mess of it, bobbles the ball right out in front of the Ghanaian, who gets his first goal of the season that could not come at a more important time than right now.
Well, how many times do we see teams who end up getting the man advantage, let the team who got the red card hang around, stay in the game, and it's a quick goal just like that that can rectify that potential issue as Uzo fouls Joe Farrell. And now it's just a boatload of frustration starting to boil over for Steve Trichu's club. Cortez trying to bring it down for Owako. Blackman. Shaft Brewer keeps it in play. Look at the miscommunication between Jamal Jack and Stuart Seyus. Taylor Hunter striding forward. Frater. Cortez. Along for come on, Frater. What a challenge by Seyus. Well, Frater was that close to scoring against his former club. As Kevon Lambert gives it away, Schweitzer came over from Orlando City B in the offseason. His then head coach Anthony Poulos now in charge of St. Louis FC. Tambe. He'll be out for a Phoenix throw-in. And now Devin with Rick Shantz only with one substitution left. I'll pose the question to you in just a moment as Luke Vercoloni is going to come on as Steve Trichu is looking for any sort of offensive spark, and the 36-year-old from Pembroke, Massachusetts should be just that, as the veteran's going to come on here in the 72nd and replace Toby Uzo. Uzo will take the scenic route, and Vercoloni, who has scored some massive goals in his career, looking for the equalizer for Steve Trichu. And the substitute brought to you by Capriati Sandwich Shop, fanatically delicious subs. Devin.
Shoot.
Who's the last sub?
For which team? You have to understand that we'll start with Colorado Springs, actually, because I'd like to go both directions here. This doesn't drastically change anything for Colorado Springs tactically, because when you looked at the way that they were set up with Josh Suggs out on the left, they really removed Sam Hamilton from the run of play. He didn't have a lot of touches in the opening 45 minutes. So obviously you want to play with 11, but although Jordan Burt has been sent off, Hamilton's just going to tuck back a little bit deeper next to Jordan Schweitzer. Malcolm will slide in above him, and Vercoloni for right now will remain up top. Wouldn't be surprised if he brings in AJ Jacobs with more speed.
Cortez gets it along for Frater. Frater trying to cut it back. Looking for that left foot. Excellent defending from JJ Tambe. And a corner kick coming up for the Rising.
Phoenix most likely will bring on the likes of Evan Waldrop to solidify the middle of the park. He'll probably bring off Gladson Awako and shut things down with about 10 minutes or so to go, assuming nothing happens on the side of Colorado Springs. If it does, wouldn't be surprised if Awako comes off and you bring on Devin Vega to explode on the offensive side of the ball.
Awako. There's a good ball in, loose in front. Joe Farrell. Go ahead, big man, gets yours. 2-0 to Phoenix.
Almost assuredly, this will be the swan song for Gladson Awako after this great ball in. Another poor display of defending by Jamal Jack and the back line of Colorado Springs. And Stuart Sayus, who failed to clear. Another ball served into the mixer, takes the deflection. The follow-up by Joe Farrell, who gets all the little touch that he needs to stick it into the back of the net. We'll work on that high jump in the offseason. But he grabs the flag, celebrates with the Red Fury, the Banditos, and everybody else at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex to get the 2-0 lead and what can almost assume to be a locked up 3 points with about 15 minutes to go.
Malcolm offside, Joe Farrell. Second goal of the season. And neither of the goals from Phoenix have been pretty by any stretch of the imagination, but a win is a win is a win.
Goals win games. Sometimes it doesn't really matter how they end up in the back of the net as long as they do. You've seen plenty of teams go in and have some of the best performances they've had all year long, control an entire match start to finish, and yet they end up with a draw, or even worse, they come out on the losing end because of one last-ditch effort by a squad. And there's other times where you really don't have the best run of form, don't get a lot of looks at goal, but still sometimes fortune seems to go your way. And a couple different times tonight, Lady Luck has certainly smiled on Phoenix Rising.
Well, everything changed after Jordan Burt was sent off. Frater called for the foul. Phoenix Rising fans, you can win 4 Phoenix Rising tickets just by watching Phoenix Rising in your view, Arizona. All you have to do is listen for the keyword and then enter it on social media, and you could win. Plus, all winners are entered to win the grand prize and all expenses paid trip to watch Phoenix Rising take on Sin City FC on October 10th in Las Vegas. Tonight's keyword, goals. Robinson. Colorado Springs could sure use a goal. Schweitzer. Won by Abdul Salam, settled by Amadou Dia. Here's Abdul Salam. Long, purposeful strides forward. Shaft Brewer Jr. Cortez will be able to get there. Lambert. Cortez stays down, and a free kick coming up for Phoenix. And the last thing that they need is their substitute for an injury to need a substitute.
This is probably just a knock right on the end of his boot. Schweitzer follows through, and that's what it looks like as the big man gets stepped on. Cleats coming through. It's a hard challenge, and that's going to leave a mark for Chris Cortez, but big man's going to be able to walk it off, continue on. He'll push his team here, and you can see the frustration by Steve Trittschuh. Schweitzer getting the stern talking to, as you can see emotions running high there.
And look at Colorado Springs trying to deal with this issue. Saeed Robinson. Talk about Switzerland. Awako. Cortez! Make it 3 for Phoenix. They're running away with it. Chris Cortez, the big man, with another big goal.
Much better from set pieces in the second half from Phoenix Rising. Execution has been top-notch. Abysmal performance by Chris Cortez in the first half. Left too many goals on the table. But as he does time and time again, he makes his way back in, becomes beloved in the second. It's 3 for Phoenix. It's 3 points for Phoenix. And Chris Cortez continues his push as he gets his 13th of the year, hoping that he might have a shot at the Golden Boot yet. Cameron Lancaster got his 16th earlier. Eni Voldsen sitting right there for the taking as well, but Chris Cortez will not go quietly into the night.
And it's class from Dia, casting it back for Carl Wazinski. Now let me pose the question to you. If Phoenix are to hold on for this clean sheet, who gets the clean sheet? Is it Waz?
It's like a no-hitter. Got to give credit to all that are involved, right?
You think?
I don't really know if I've ever been asked that question. I've never been asked that question, and I probably will never say this again in my entire life. I do not know the answer. At least I'm honest.
So I just want to make it clear for the folks at home, during this broadcast, you've A, sarcastically said that you were shocked that you were right, and B, that you don't think you'll ever say again you don't know the answer to a question.
Correct.
Okay. Just so we're on the same page, and so everybody else knows at home.
Same page, different level.
You know, our phone call with Rick Shantz, when I dished it over to you, I gave you a compliment, and you know, I gave you an inch and you took about 3,000 miles. I said, I'll toss it over my better half, and here you are. Just, you're incorrigible. It's unbelievable.
I admitted 2 things tonight, both of which were true. You admitted one the other day. You still have one more to go. Let's get back to the task at hand. Plenty of time here for both teams to still do some damage.
You trying to take over my job here?
You switch for the final 9 minutes?
I'm okay with it. Our producer's okay with it.
I'm sure everybody would love to know the tactical prowess that went on at Hobart. Let's see.
Well, I'd love to see you try and do one of these reads, because you're always claiming how easy it is, but reading and you don't really go together well enough. Saeed Robinson Looks like it's Colin Fernandez getting ready to come in for Phoenix. Malcolm. Vercoloni. And Saad Abdul Salam once again cutting out the ensuing attack from Colorado Springs. Shaft Brewer says see you later to Taylor Hunter. Brewer, a heavy touch. But just a glimpse of what the 18-year-old is capable of. And a double switch for Steve Tritchio and a single switch and a final switch for Rick Shantz. It'll be Colin Fernandez, the Illinois native. Coming on, it'll be Hanlon and a Jakwa to replace Schweitzer. And a player to be named at a later date. And his name is Saeed Robinson. And the substitutes, all three of them, brought to you by Capriati's Sandwich Shop, fanatically delicious subs.
Surprised that Shantz is actually bringing Lambert out. He intends to run the full 90, but excited to see Colin Fernandez step back on the pitch. And he said the other day that he was happy with his performance, Colin coming back, but they may have rushed him a bit too soon. Not fully 90 minutes match fit yet, and needed to continue to get him back into the process, get him game ready. This will give him an opportunity to do so as Lambert applauds the fans and their support over the course of his 84-minute shift.
Some serious love for a holding central midfielder. I must say this, the fans at Phoenix Rising, there are some knowledgeable ones. I mean, when there are challenges being put in, when there are recovery runs being made, they fully understand the situation and what those little things can do for a team in terms of confidence, in terms of being able to control the game. And it's great to see because it also goes back to your point you were making at halftime of growing the game in this country with all the attendance, but having a knowledge of the game as a fan and not just simply attending is something completely different, and I think that that's more than relevant here in Phoenix.
Top notch, and there's no right or wrong, but like you said, as your knowledge continues to grow, it's not necessarily the goals and glory, who got the assist, who got the goal. They're recognizing of Kevon Frater in the first half, 5 minutes to go. Saad Abdul Salam has stepped up. He recognizing that there could be a counter-tap coming from Colorado Springs, gets on his bike and tracks back 45 yards to step into the right back position so that they don't have that opportunity. Things like that are what people start to recognize, and your ability as a fan to continue your growth, just as the team does, makes it that much more fun when you come out to the games and watch and get involved, and it really brings that passion that you see on a regular basis at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex.
And with Phoenix Rising FC's impending win tonight, you at home also win. Head to all of Phoenix Rising social media accounts tonight to find out what the latest We Win, You Win deal will be. Frater looking for Cortez, and it knocks safely into the hands of Stuart Sayus. Vercoloni. Fernandez fouled. Referee says play on. Dia. Frater having a nice little laugh with Steve Tritchio over on the near side. Fernandez gets rid of it. Awako up for the header. Frater is down. And Sergei Demianchuk's going to hold up play. You can see Jamal Jack just trying to comfort the former Colorado Springs Switchbacks member. And Zach Lubin back to the bench. And gets an embrace from Didier Drogba. Tell you what, that was a nice little battle wound that he acquired there. And Lubin continues to get love from the crowd.
The challenge just moments ago. As Frater goes to ground, big Jamal Jack extending his arm a touch. Coming across Frater, but he'll live to tell the tale.
Ajekwa. First real impact tonight. And the word down on field level is that we could potentially have 5 minutes of stoppage time, unconfirmed at the moment. And now it is officially confirmed, thanks to our outstanding producer, Juan Roberto Fernandez. Frater. Cortez. Amadou Dia for Frater. Shaft Brewer. Taylor Hunter barking over at the AR, thinking that there should have been at least 2 flags that went up. And Shaft Brewer will have to wait for his first goal as a member of Phoenix Rising.
Actually thought Kevon Frater might have continued his run here and gone alone against Stuart Sayus. Just out of his reach. Things really have been brewing all night for Shaft on the right side, but he just can't finish it off. It's been that final execution into the end game, the last 20, 25 yards that have really been lacking. Need to utilize him more often. We've seen what he's been able to do with the speed and the ball out in front of him. The technical side of things lacking in the final touch. But again, hopeful future as he's had a decent outing here in his first start for the Phoenix Rising.
Oh, so you can make silly puns, but I can't. Is that how this works? JJ Tombe almost got through Kevon Frater, and Frater does him one better. And just one for good measure. It was clean, says Sergei Demianchuk. Shane Malcolm for Coloni. Dia crows to ground, misses the challenge. And nodded away by Abdul Salam. Sam Hamilton for Coloni again. Good hustle from Hamilton. Keeps it in play, Suggs. Into the 3rd minute of stoppage time. Ajekwa.
Solid sportsmanship by Gladson Awako as he gets tangled up with AJ Jakwa. Final moments of this game, Kevon Frater and JJ Tombe having a fun little go at it each other on the right side.
Really well done from Phoenix to get out of trouble. Awako. Frater back for Awako. Now it's Shaft Brewer getting involved. Awako. Frater onside. Come on, Frater. Something about Phoenix players playing against their old squads. Minimal celebration from Kevon, but the finish was exquisite. 4-0 to Phoenix.
Love the ball here by Gladson Awako. And how about the clever little look over Kevon Frater's shoulder? Yep, I'm on. I'm going to pick out that far post, no problem. 4th goal. None kids be as sweet as the symphony versus your former squad. Excellent first touch, better finish. Class, composure, ever present all night long for Kevon Frater. Phoenix Rising once again putting on an excellent performance in the second half to distance themselves from their rivals.
For Coloni, trying to muster something up for Colorado Springs late and put a damper on another convincing win from Phoenix. You can hear the shouts of clean sheet from the fans here at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex. Suggs towards the byline. Important touch from Blackman. That's going to do it. Phoenix with their second straight 4-0 decision at home. Gladson Awako, Chris Cortez, Kevon Frater getting in on the score sheet. Zach Lubin and Carl Wazinski will both get credit for the clean sheet. And Phoenix Rising now make it 3 wins in a row. Gladson, a goal and 2 assists tonight. He is most certainly our man of the match. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
Excellent response by the Rising in the second 45 minutes. You saw tactically some things really started to shift around. They went into a hybrid 3-back system of their own, exploiting Saad and Amadou Dia, respectively, on both the right and left-hand sides. Shaft Brewer Jr. started to see the ball more. Gladson Awako continued to be the puppeteer in the middle of the pitch. Kevon Frater, Chris Cortez, everybody else started to get involved. Everything you could have wanted from the boys after halftime.
4-0 is the final score. We're heading to the post-game show. Don't go anywhere.
It's a great family environment. It really is fun. They do a good job making it fun for the kids.
Go Phoenix Rising!
All the excitement, all the fun. We have a great time every time we come to a Phoenix Rising game.
Go Arizona Federal!
If you just sign that first
I'm
one
so
there.
sorry.
we'll
I don't feel comfortable signing that.
I don't get the math here.
Was this the same car we talked about?
What's this dealer preparation fee?
I'm so sorry. This just is not.
What we talked about.
Get the car without the car salesman. Carvana, the new way to buy a car.
No te pierdas ni un segundo de la acción en los últimos encuentros de la temporada 2018 de Phoenix Rising FC. Ven al complejo futbolístico Phoenix Rising en Scottsdale y experimenta el nivel más alto de fútbol profesional de Arizona. Venga a ver el enfrentamiento de Phoenix Rising y San Luis FC el sábado 29 de septiembre a las 7 p.m. Obtén tus boletos en phxracingfc.com. Phoenix Rising FC, nos elevamos unidos.
Full time here at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, a week removed from their 4-0 win against San Antonio FC. And guess what? Different opponent, same scoreline. Didier Drogba, Saad Abdul Salam, Tristan Blackman, Amadou Dia, all more than thrilled with the club's performance. 4 different goal scorers for Rick Schantz's side as they come away with another convincing win. And thanks to Zach Lubin and Carl Wazinski's clean sheet and our partners at Jackson's Car Wash, all fans who attended tonight's match get a free $16 car wash. Just head to one of the 11 Valley locations tomorrow and show them your ticket and your Rising Pride. Offer only good for the next 24 hours. Tyler Terrence along with Devin Kerr will let you know exactly how this all went down. And early on in the game, Devin, Colorado Springs, you have to tip your hats to them. They played really well, and tactically they were executing. But it was this moment that changed everything. Collision between Lubin and Burt. Lubin catches a gash that is the size of Montana, where he's originally from. And after all the dust settles, it ends up being Burt getting a straight red card. Lubin would head to the dressing room. Wazinski would come on. But we both really didn't agree with the call.
You have to wonder exactly what the thought process was from the referee, because he takes his time here, and I respect the fact that there's a serious injury, but you almost wonder, does he wait and see the gash and the crowd react and kind of his environment and let it all kind of seep in, talks to his third assistant referee on the sideline, and then makes him force his hand. Burt gets the boot in the 65th, and then it's all history. Owako in the 68th. Farrell gets his in the 74th on the excellent follow-up from the set-piece service from Gladson Owako. Chris Cortez would then be the recipient of another great ball by Gladson Owako. That seemed to be the theme all night long. Chris Cortez was not the best in the opening 45 minutes, coming on as a substitute for the injured Jason Johnson, hoping that he's going to be okay, but he finds his form back and gets another vital goal for Phoenix Rising, pushing them out in front. Phoenix will grab one in extra time. Kevon Frater in the 94th minute. Always fun to score against your former squad, and especially in a manner like this, when you've been left out all alone on the outside. Why would you ever do this? The back line steps up, thanks to Sam Hamilton. The loanee didn't recognize that everybody else didn't come with him. Frater takes one little glimpse of his shoulder, throws it into overdrive, kicks it to the far post, and finds his 3rd goal of the season.
Well, how easy did he make that look? Just checking over his shoulder, making sure the AR didn't have his flag up. And against this former team, not going to celebrate too much, or at least not in front of them. I have a feeling it might be a different story later on tonight, as we'll take a look at the final stats from the 90 minutes. And Colorado Springs did an excellent job. They really did. And Steve Tritchu, I mean, I can't imagine he's berating his guys after the game. It was a strong performance, and they were really just unlucky in that red card. But, you know, Sayus did make some mistakes at the back, and there were a couple of things that they could have done differently. But, you know, again, Phoenix just too much to handle offensively, and it's really a war of attrition with this guy.
It's been an issue for Colorado Springs because back there he's got Sayus and Moise Poati. They can be world-class goalkeepers, and they can be very confused, and that's what we saw tonight. Gladson Owako's goal was a gift, but that's fine. Sayus made his way back into the match. For Phoenix Rising fans, they've gotten 2 matches in a row where players from their former team have stepped in. Now, just glimpsing at the roster right now, nobody has played for RGV, but there is good news. Jason Johnson does have experience with the Houston Dynamo, who are affiliated with RGV, so maybe that's a little bit of a nod to the future and what could be.
Well, what has been for Phoenix in the past 3 games has been nothing short of perfection. It started with Las Vegas, 2-0 on the road. Then it was San Antonio, 4-0. And now Colorado Springs Switchbacks, another 4-0 result. 10 goals for, 0 against. Diplo, he knows what's going on. He's just constantly nodding his head yes, as are the fans here at Phoenix Rising Soccer Complex, loving what they see time and time again. Phoenix, another 4-0 win, another 3 points. It's 9 points in a row. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.